Intro music with an energetic, curious vibe starts and fades.
Welcome to SEO SRV. Today, we've got a story for you, and I have a feeling it might just change the way you think about work forever.
So let's be clear about something right from the start. This is not a story about luck.
And it's not a story about some once-in-a-generation talent either.
Nope, this is a story about truth.
All right, let's dive in. In the heart of a bustling city, there was a man named Raghav. His small business, well, it was his whole life. He was the first to open and the last to close, every single day. And the neighborhood, they respected him for it. Raghav, they'd say, now that is a hard worker. But as Raghav was quickly learning, respect doesn't pay the bills. Now just a few blocks away, another man, Neil, also ran a business. But Neil was different. And just look at the difference here, side by side. You've got Raghav absolutely drowning in paperwork, stressed out, just trying to keep his head above water. And then there's Neil, calm, collected, running a business that seemed to just grow effortlessly. While Raghav was busy surviving, Neil was quietly building an empire.
One evening, Raghav was standing outside a shop, completely exhausted, and he asked himself the one question so many of us are afraid to even think. If hard work is everything, then why am I still stuck? That one question planted a dangerous little seed, and it was about to change everything.
You see, Raghav was on the verge of a huge revelation, a truth that most of us never get to learn. And it's this: hard work, all by itself, does not make you rich. That little seed of doubt, it started to sprout. A few nights later, Raghav spotted Neil in a quiet cafe. He swallowed his pride, sat down, and finally asked the question that had been haunting him. Why does money seem to follow you while it runs away from me?
Neil took a slow sip of his tea, then said something that completely shattered Raghav's reality. He said, Raghav, you're running a shop. I'm building a business. And that's the whole game right there. A shop relies on your time. If you stop working, the money stops coming in. But a business relies on decisions. You make them once and they keep earning for you.
As Neil stood up to leave, he left Raghav with this one final thought that would just echo in his mind all night. Think about this, he said. Hard work keeps you busy. Systems make you rich.
The next day, Raghav did something he hadn't done in years. He didn't just work, he watched. He saw every single sale, every interaction, and he realized it all depended on him. Meanwhile, Neil's business was just humming along, whether he was there or not. Customers weren't being sold to, they were choosing to buy.
And this is why. Neil's business wasn't built on his personal effort. It didn't matter what his mood was or how much energy he had that day. It was built on a structure, a system that worked consistently. You see, Raghav was running on hope. Neil was running on certainty.
When Raghav visited Neil's office, he saw it all in action. Clear pricing, a clear process, a clear promise. There was absolutely no confusion. And his old customers, they kept coming back, not because they were chased, but because they trusted the system. Neil paused and said, and trust. Well, that's the real currency.
This was the moment it all finally clicked for Raghav. Successful businesses don't just ask for money, they deserve it. That night, he didn't work in his shop. He sat there in the dark and, for the very first time, he began to design his business.
He remembered Neil's simple formula, and it's really not complicated. First, you choose one painful problem. Then you solve it in a super reliable way. And finally, you just repeat that solution over and over without fail.
And just look at this transformation. Before, Raghav's business was pure chaos, random discounts, confusing negotiations, just chasing anyone with a wallet. Afterwards, it was all clarity, one clear promise, fixed and transparent pricing, and a system that attracted the right kind of customers.
The next morning, his shop was different. The choices were simpler, the prices were fixed. A customer walked in, paused, looked around, and then smiled and paid. The lesson here is so powerful. Confidence is contagious. When you stop begging for sales, people start respecting your value.
Weeks went by. Raghav didn't slip back into his old habits. He trusted the structure he built. And then, something really beautiful started to happen. Customers returned, and this time, they brought friends. They spoke his name with certainty, saying, go to Raghav, he does it right.
But the biggest change, it was personal. He wasn't exhausted anymore. He actually took a break one afternoon, and for the first time ever, the shop stayed open without him.
The business was no longer this burden that was pulling him apart. It was an asset that supported him. That right there, that's what freedom feels like.
Neil joined him outside, and Raghav finally said the words that proved he truly understood. "I don't work for money anymore," he said. "Money works for the system I built."
So here's the crucial point. Winning businesses don't just work harder, they operate with clarity. They choose one clear problem. They build trust through a solid structure. They remove all confusion, and they create systems that repeat value over and over again.
And that brings us to the final question, the one you should probably ask yourself tonight. Are you just working in your business, trading your time for money? Or are you actively building something, a system, that will eventually work for you?
So now you know the secret. The real question is, what's the first system you're going to build? Share your ideas down in the comments below. We would love to hear them. And if this story resonated with you, do us a favor and subscribe for more explainers just like this one.